Hello people of the internet, I'm back. Because I've been to a festival / camp / conference and then I was recovering from that festival / camp / conference. I don't know what to call it because it was like a conference with talks and workshops, but then you had to sleep in tents and it was called a camp and there was loud music playing for about 20 hours a day. No lie, 20 hours. And if you think that sounds like hell, then you're not entirely wrong. But I still survived, so if you want to know how, here's 6.5 things I took, or wish I took, to survive this camp / festival. And all of these are sort of autism and sensory issues specific, of course, so let's go. So the first thing I took, which is probably quite obvious, is headphones. Noise-cancelling headphones, specifically. Although I'd actually wish I'd taken multiple ones, because during the day and generally when you're out and about listening to people or music or whatever you're there to do, you kind of want to hear something. But then when you want to sleep or you're overwhelmed or whatever, you don't really want to hear anything. So I would have very much liked to have another pair of headphones that had more noise cancellingness. I don't know. For sleeping and etc. And then let's get straight to the half tip. You might also want to take something to clean the headphones. Like disinfecting wipes or whatever works for you. Maybe even just some paper towels. And I didn't do this, and I kind of wish I did, because there was just so much dust. It was absolutely awful. It was everywhere. And so my headphones got kind of disgusting, and which was not great for wearing them. So like you're taking a change of clothes, basically. Take something to clean whatever else you will need to wear on a daily basis. Also like glasses, hearing aids, whatever else you're needing, because if it's not dust, it might be mud or people throwing stuff or whatever. And dust is going to be a theme in this video, because my next tip is to take something to cover your mouth and nose, because of dust, yes, but also because of smell, because you will be using bathrooms that a lot of other people have previously used, and this is probably going to be unpleasant. But also, especially if you're very sensitive to smell, because you're in quite a small space with a lot of people, and that tends to mean there will be a lot of different smells, and not all of them will be pleasant. So the 3.5 technically tip is sunglasses, which if you're sensitive to light, you will probably be bringing anyway. But then I'd also suggest bringing like those eye cover things that you sometimes get on planes, like masks for sleeping, because it's likely that there will be lights, and also blinking lights, which, even if you're not that sensitive, might be uncomfortable when you're trying to sleep. And someone actually installed a batch of blinking Christmas lights right next to my tent and did not shut them down for the night, so I usually don't like sleeping masks, but wow, those were annoying. And while we're on the topic of sleeping, I actually find the material that sleeping bags are made of really uncomfortable. It feels weird. I don't want to sleep in that. So my hack for that is to bring one of these, or just generally to have one of these. This is technically a Hostel sleeping bag. Hostel, not Hostel. It is not Hostel. And it's basically just 2 pieces of cotton fabric sewn together that you can kind of stuff together into a bag. And it's cotton fabric, but you can also get them in other types of fabric, and even like really, really fancy ones, but of course they're more expensive. And they just, you can have that and have whatever texture you feel comfortable with. And they're also great if you have sensory issues with the fabric in hotel beds, or even anxiety about cleanliness in hotels and hostels and whatever, because well, that's what they're made for. So yeah, those are great. I love them. So at some point you will probably have to eat something, and well, if you're lucky, there will be lots of amazing food options, but there might not be, or you might not have the energy to try them, because trying new foods can be kind of exhausting, and also a risk if you're already on the verge of overload anyway. So my fourth and a half tip is taking some of your same foods, or something that you can easily prepare and you know is safe for you to eat. And sometimes it's even just relaxing to eat some food you're used to, even if you enjoy trying new foods. And it's just something that's really nice to have if you're going somewhere that you know will possibly be quite overwhelming. Remember, you're trying to have fun there, and at least I hope you are. And that's also what my last tip is about. You're there to have fun and to have new experiences, but sometimes that is sitting in your tent with a book or a sketchpad or on your phone. And I actually really like to just sit in my tent with the door/tent flap open and just watch what was happening from there. And that's, in my mind, not participating. It's just participating in a different way, and you get a different experience from sitting in a tent being on your phone than sitting at home being on your phone. It's still participating, even if it looks a bit different. And where I was, there were actually a lot of people who watched the talks. All of the talks were being streamed to the internet, so they just sat in their tents on their computers and watched all the talks from there, even though they were there. So, you know. So that's all the tips I have for today, and I hope you may find them helpful. Do you have any idea what kind of camp I was on? I'd be very interested to know. Put your guesses down below. Let me recap what I've mentioned so far. There was dust. There was a lot of dust. There was loud music. There was dancing. And there were blinking lights and LEDs and stuff. And I guess the fact that we were so amused about using the word hacking is kind of a hint. So put your guess down in the comments. I'd be very interested. This is probably going to sound weird. I was at the Chaos Communication Camp, which, well, it's basically a hacker camp. There's a lot of hackers, some activists, more hackers, maybe some engineers and so on. There are lots of internet and technology savvy people. And I'm not just trying to brag I was there, although it's kind of cool. I actually held a tiny little talk there. A very, very tiny one. But nevertheless, I stood on the stage and people listened, which was cool. And I'm very, very proud of that. Which is why I'm mentioning it, obviously. So I sort of held a little introduction on the concept of neurodiversity. And I put a link down below if you're interested in that. Or if you're just generally interested in hacking and computers. Because, as I said, they stream all of the talks. You can watch them. They're great. So I sort of held a tiny introduction to the concept of neurodiversity, and I'll put the link down to the video, the live stream. No, not live. It's no longer live. To the stream video down below if you're interested in that, or if you're generally interested in hacking and computers, because, as I said, they stream most, if not all, of the talks, so you can watch them all now. And all in all, it was actually pretty autism friendly, I thought, for that kind of event. It was pretty cool. Where was I? Well, actually I wasn't there the entire time. I also spent another week and a half recovering. But anyway, that's part of the experience. It's all part of the experience. That's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed this and maybe got some tips if you're going to a festival or camp or whatever yourself. Or maybe even if you're just going on holiday, who knows. And I will see you next week with a new video. Bye!